So I wanted to show you guys how I took the trade. Unfortunately, my TP has been hit. I'll show a chart of the trade that I took, and then I'll show you guys how I entered the trade. So this is the trade. Let me see. Let me see. So this is the trade that I took just right now. TP has been hit already, and let me explain the concept that I used to take this trade. So I usually take a screenshot for my journaling. If you hear there's too much wind, you guys just bear with me. I'm seated somewhere where there's a lot of wind. So my entry on this trade was based on, this is some form of consolidation here, this one that started at around 7 New York time. So let me mark it with another. So like this was consolidation, and then when 9:30 open came, this order block formed that pushed price up to sweep all these highs here and these highs that had been formed during the London New York overlap. So as you usually know, those people who know me usually know that I usually take my trades from breaker blocks. So all I had to do was wait for this market to close below, and then this retracement, then one more close below. I took my entry from this black candle, and I was doing 200 pips. I had 100 lots on. If you look at my position, I was only doing 200 pips, and my TP has already been taken. So as you can see, I've been on this stream before, and all I have done is repeat the same concept over and over again. I always take my trades from breaker blocks, and it is the same thing I have applied on this chart. So, and it also revolves around the power of three. The whole of this is consolidation, 9:30 manipulation, and then close below, you can see, and then another close below. And then I took my entry from this candle. So it's the same concept over and over again, and that is why I always insist, find one thing that really works and refine on it every time you take trades. So that is my insight on today's trade, and the reason why I took that trade. Of course, it must align with the higher time frame bias. For example, my higher time frame bias was sales. I was selling on higher time frame bias because we can see these are lows that are here that have not been cleared yet, and the market has been on a sell program from when these highs were taken, and then we sold, retracement into a fair value gap, another selling, retracement into an order block, and then yesterday this was our sell. Sorry, last week on Friday, and then this week we've also been selling. So if you want to get high probability trades, take trades that align with higher time frame bias, the way I've done today, and those are the trades that will give you less stress when you are trying to take them or when you are framing your setups. So unless anyone has a question, I think I'm done. I only wanted to show the idea behind my trade and why I took this trade here. It was only based on this order block that turned breaker, because at this point when it formed and then pushed price up, it's an order block. In normal circumstances, the order block should support price to go higher like that. But once it's violated, it becomes an order a breaker block, and that for me gives me the confidence to enter this market without even worrying about where or if the market will break it again. And in normal circumstances, when you enter on this candle, your stop loss should be above the order block candle or the breaker candle, because in most cases, if the market really comes above that breaker block, it has already been violated, and maybe the market is not going to do what you expected. So if I had placed my stop loss here and the market came for it and my buyers were still selling, I would wait for the market to come down and close below the breaker block again, and then I'll look for an entry just the same way I have done here when macro was starting. So that is the whole premise that made me really sell the market this way. I don't know if I my original stop loss was on the half of breaker block, so I moved it a little bit when price moved down, and you can see, and then this is how you know price is going to deliver to your target real fast. If you look at these candles, in most cases like here, the candles leave fair value gaps and then come for them. But if you look at these candles, they are overlapping. If you look at this one, the wick of this candle and wick of the third candle, they are overlapping, and then this one and this one. So this one shows that the market is doing immediate rebalance and it is not interested in lagging around here because it has a target to achieve down here. And that is why you see, once you see the market is not leaving any gaps like this, you understand that that market is really bearish. And even when it leaves a small gap, fills immediately and then starts going, fills immediately, then leaves the place. So that is how you know that the market is really bearish. And I've been observing that even on 1 hour, when you are selling on this, if you look at, this is how I knew this market was going to be very bearish. The breakaway from here, if you look at all these candles, the 1 hour candle, the wick is touching the previous first candle, and then the same thing here, the low of this week, the high of this week, low of this week, high of this week. So this is the market doing a lot of immediate rebalance, and this shows you that the market is extremely bearish, and you don't have to wait for gaps to come and be filled so that you can you can take the sell or the buy, whichever market you're doing. So this 1 hour, this 1 minute time frame gave me the confidence to hold my my trade up to my TP. So that is the trade that I have taken, and I think I'm done. And it was nice catching up with you guys. I know it's been long. Unless anyone has a question. I don't see anyone with a question, so I might exit the stream and let the owner take over. Macolin, I don't know if you are there. Explain yesterday evening's trade. Where is yesterday evening's trade? Today is 18th. I don't know if I took the trade yesterday. Yesterday, last night was 20 hours ago. Let me see if I took the trade. This is AM session sell. I sold yesterday. Let me see if I'll find it and then explain what happened. I think it's the one. This is the PM session trade for yesterday. So I think what happened yesterday, let me explain from 15-minute perspective. Today is on Tuesday. I think this is the sell that I took yesterday, this one. So it's mostly based on off a fair value gap. So let me see. You guys, mi nikishatoka kwa trade kuiangalia tena ni ngumu. Where is it? I want to see what happened. This was a higher time frame breaker that I had marked. Oh, okay, I understand. That was a higher time frame breaker that I had marked. Is it here? Yes, I think it's here. I took the trade from when this retracement happened after lunch hour. So what happens is I usually mark my lunch hour lows and lunch hour highs. In this case, you can see this is 1305, and then my lunch hour highs I think was somewhere here. And the reason why I didn't expect price to come to lunch hour highs, it's because we were still on a sell program, and the fact that market had gotten, if you look at here, all these are equal lows here. So unless these equal lows had been taken, I was not looking to sell this market yesterday. I want to mark for you the breaker that I had used. So this is the breaker. If you look at this market here, I was anticipating to buy at some point after this sweep. So I had marked some candles here. This one, this up close candle before a liquidity sweep. It's actually the lower ones, those ones. So I expected market to come and retrace to it during AM session, and then we buy. So this was my expectations on this trade. I expected this order block to support price to go higher. But then if you look at what was happening, here, around here, the market was creating these lows, and then when market dropped, you see it's already closing below the market, below the order block. So those are signs that show you that this market is not respecting that order block, and it's already turning it into a breaker. And of course, you don't have to use the higher time frame. You can always use what you have at that particular time, like what the market is giving you to sell or to buy the market. For example, here, the main reason why I took the sell was between lunch hour lows and high. And looking at where the market was, it is easier for the market to sweep these lows than come all the way to sweep lunch highs before starting to sell. So I was really wanting to sell this market. The ideal place to sell this market would have been when it has taken these lows here and below the breaker. But then for people who know how to trade turtle soup, that is why I took the trade from this from that retracement up there. Let me show you my exact entry. You can see my exact entry is when this candle was leaving the breaker. Now this one, market closed below, and then when it was leaving the breaker, already it had shown me signs of selling because it has closed below the breaker I had marked. And then when it retraced to the breaker, I sold off. I only wanted this was I had taken 60% profit here because I always do my trades with 100 lots, and I was targeting this 5-minute fair value gap down here. So this trade is easy because I was relying on higher time frame buyers, and that is why even today's trade is framed based on higher time frame buyers. Those are the easiest trades you'll ever take, rather than trying to look for reversals, which sometimes they don't always happen. Even on this trade, I know someone has sent me a chart. They were trying to buy to these equal highs, and I told them I don't think the market is going to buy to those equal highs because we are on a sell program, and that is why I had marked this. And I could have taken my trade from here, but because someone had poisoned my mind that we can buy to these London session highs, I decided to wait until the market closed below the breaker and then retraced. I waited for another close, and then I took my entry exactly in this candle. So you find something that works, and you can work on it until it's a model that you can use over and over again. Even before I left X, there were those models that I was testing that time. I think I'm in around in my 98th chart testing that model. So that is how you refine the model that you use to trade, and you don't have to skip changing strategy and everything. Once you have one strategy, fix your psychology, because you can have the skill, but if your psychology is in shambles, you'll still become a bad trader. So find something that works for you, then fix your psychology around it. Know how to handle losses, incorporate strict risk management, and you will be fine. So I think that is all, guys. And I want to encourage you, let no one tell you that Forex doesn't work. Forex does work, and it will give you freedom, a free life. I'm on the stream with you guys, and I'm seated on the beach. I don't know if it's possible to show you guys. I've been in on vacation for the last, I think this is my second week or something. So nobody should tell you that it doesn't work. I don't know if it will be possible to see if I on my camera, so you guys can see where I am. This is a beach, the whole of this. You can see I've been on vacation and I'm alone. You can actually go to a hotel and be alone, as you guys can see. So you put in the work, and you'll get that freedom that you want with time. And make sure you work on one thing. Pick one thing, pick one strategy and die with it. Ile ya kukufa nayo kabisa. Refine it, know how it works. Wacha ikucharaze viboko. Of course, it will take time, and then fix your psychology. Once you have an edge and a strategy, because a strategy and edge are two different things. You can have a strategy but lack an edge. You go and research between an edge and a strategy. Those are two different things. But once you have the both of them, then now you fix your psychology around your edge. Know how to handle the market, when to enter, how to handle your losses, how to handle your wins, how to journal, and especially journaling will reveal a lot of things about you, like character, how you react, your impulsiveness, your bad habits. They'll be broken when you're journaling. And mtu asikwambie that you don't journal. Kwa journaling, that is where you will know your mistakes, and that is the true person will reveal, and that is where you'll also build a beast in this market. Mimi, I built myself from journaling. I was not taking my reflection from anyone else. I was not waiting for anyone else's opinion. What happened is my journal used to reflect my character, my mistakes, my wins, my strength, and everything I did was centered around that. So you lock in, journal, have a strategy. You can even choose, nowadays it's easy, you can choose one mentor and let them, and they should show you their results, and let them mentor you. If you don't want that, you can do it like me. Nobody mentored me, but then it took longer. I'm celebrating my 5th anniversary in forex this year. So it takes longer when you do it on your own. It's a bit easier when you have a mentor who can help you navigate, but this is something that is doable, and I'm a living example. So you guys, you can have a nice evening. Beth Gitau, I'm in my 5th year, and I've been profitable for 2 years now. The first 3 years, the first 1 year was a lot of noise, thinking I could come into the market and make quick money and exit. I was like those small kids you see on X making noise, like comparing myself to people, thinking this thing doesn't work, and in the process I really lost a lot of money. That was in my first year, and then the second and third year I decided now to lock in, without I actually exited social media that time so I can lock in. My only social media that time was YouTube and Telegram. That is where I used to learn from, and YouTube I learned from my city. And at some point I thought I was wasting time when I was doing ICT concepts, because they are really hard and they don't look like they work. But then 6 months of you having a strategy, an edge, and fixing your psychology, you only need 6 months to change your story. You only need 6 months to correct all the mistakes, or to catch up with all the time you think you've wasted when learning these things. So for me, it took me 3 good years, and even last year, things really unlocked, part of last year, almost the end of last year, not almost the end, half of last year and this year. And it's all attributed to the work that I put in, for those few years, or those many years at the back there. So if you're in your first year, second year, and third year, I can assure you, if you're journaling, you can track your progress, but don't be swayed and don't follow what other people are doing. Just find one person, observe what they do, find their strategy, and work with it. And then the elephant in that, in your development, will be you fixing your own psychology, your habits, and everything. That is what will help you grow as a trader. And when you get to that point where you are now able to make money from the market, believe me, you will not need anyone, you will not need social media validation. You will be able to walk away from bullshit and don't care about anyone, because you can be able to live your life without depending on anyone. And in most cases, people see the results, but they don't know the amount of work you put in. People who know me personally, I gave someone my journal and they could not even go through it, the whole of it, because they said that's too much work. You see, so you take years to build something, and then it becomes so easy for you to do it until it looks unreal to other people. And you can get there as a beginner, as a newbie. All you have to do is submit to time, and do meaningful work. Don't just be there doing trial and error, all those kind of things. If you can be able to track your progress properly, like an organized person, at the end of the day, because you can do forex for 5 years and it will still not work for you, because it depends on what kind of work are you doing. Are you jumping from one thing to the other? Are you jumping from one mentor to the other? Are you jumping from one strategy to the other? How are you fixing your psychology? How do you do your journaling? I usually ask people, if you are a serious forex trader, I don't want to see your trades or anything, or your wins, or the amount of money you have. Show me your journal. Your journal will tell me everything I need to know about you. And then the next step, let's sit down, call the market for me, do an analysis, and then I can know if you really understand what you're doing in this market. So you guys, all you have to do is lock in, and Macolin is doing a very good job. He's someone who has passed through me, so I cannot doubt his work. He's very good in analyzing charts, and he's really helping you in these streams. I'll be popping up from time to time, though I may not be available all the time. And if you guys have questions, you can always keep them, and then we'll also try and do live trades sometimes, see how we'll go about it. So have a nice evening.